All right, it is story time. I'm going to read you the first part of today's story about the Akelo family, which is titled A Hard Lesson for Jaja. For Amina and Jaja, the final month of the school year seemed to progress as slowly as the growth of the cotton in the fields. I don't think school will ever end this year, Jaja complained one June morning as he scurried to collect his school books. And when July finally comes and we're out in the hot sun picking the cotton, you'll be wishing it were time for school to begin, his father chided. Now hurry. You and Amina need to finish your morning chores and then be off to school. As Amina walked outside to sweep the soil surrounding their thatched roof house, Jaja picked up the water can on the front porch and headed slowly to the village well. He enjoyed this chore because other children from the village were always there to fill water cans for their families. On this particular morning, instead of filling the cans quickly and returning home, Jaja dawdled and chatted with one friend after another as they came to the well. Jaja Akelo, he heard a familiar voice call from up the path. Do you think it's already summertime? Now fill the water can and get home. You're already late for school. Jaja recognized his father's voice. He quickly picked up the water can, placed it under the spigot, and began pumping the well handle as fast as he could. I'm coming, Baba, he replied. Jaja, I think you need to focus on your chores and schoolwork, his father scolded as the two headed home. Amina said you haven't been paying attention in class either. I know you're anxious for summer, but that's no excuse. Now off to school. As Jaja hurried along to the village school, he knew his father was right. He had been less attentive in school lately. In fact, he had not even completed his homework for the day. He could only hope his teacher wouldn't call on him to read his report, which, of course, he hadn't written. You're late, Jaja, Mrs. Ornaga scolded as Jaja tried to sneak into the crowded classroom unnoticed. I'm sorry, Jaja replied sheepishly as he slouched into his desk. Are you prepared to read your report on cotton this morning? Mrs. Ornaga asked accusingly. I don't have it ready, Jaja mumbled. I'll have it finished by tomorrow, I promise. After school, Jaja met Amina on the path to their house. So you didn't have your report ready, Amina scolded. Your friend Samuel told me. How late were you getting to school this morning? Just because you're 2 years older than I am doesn't mean you can ask me so many questions. You're not my mother, Jaja snapped. Okay, Amina replied, but I think you need to concentrate more on your schoolwork. Okay, enough, Jaja said in exasperation. Just don't keep telling me what I need to do. Amina knew she had criticized her brother enough for one day, so they walked on in unfriendly silence. As they neared the edge of the village, they heard someone call out, Hey, Jaja, come play soccer with us. It was Samuel, who, along with a few other boys, had started a street game. Without looking at Amina, Jaja quickly threw down his school bag and ran to join his friends. Where's your brother? Mrs. Akelo asked as soon as Amina opened the front door. Oh, he's playing soccer with some boys in the village. He said he'd be home in time to do his chores and homework before supper. But I don't think he will, Amina said accusingly. Of course, Jaja arrived home just in time for supper, but too late to begin his chores and homework. You're quite late, Mr. Akelo remarked. It's almost dark. Too dark now to gather firewood and a bit late to start on your homework, don't you think? Now wash your hands and sit at the table.